Hi friends, we're making this video from beautiful Savannah, Georgia, where we've been since Monday. It's now Friday. Been here a while. So far we don't have any plans to leave. We have found parking spots on the street now for 4 nights in a row and no one's bothered us, so we're probably just going to push our luck until somebody does bother us and tells us to leave. Hanging out here by the RV, and we're pretty proud of the little home that we built. We have everything we need in this thing and just about nothing that we don't need, and I would love to give you all a tour. Okay, so here's where we're parked today. There's Nick. He's working on the engine or something in that general vicinity. Which he does pretty much every day because this thing is a 1985 and there's usually something wrong. But today he was just basically tweaking things to make the clutch a little bit smoother. Sounds like he was pretty successful. So anyway, here's our front door. Here's our back door, whatever. This is the way we get in and out of it. And there's Wilson, of course. Hi Wilson. Wilson just kind of hangs out. You stay. Nope, we're staying. Okay, going in. Kind of a big step up. We're working on that. Alright, so here's what we're working with. Over here, we have our kitchen area, all-purpose bench, basically. Lots of storage underneath, so we have a cooler there for when we need to refrigerate things or keep things cold. Next to that is our sort of all-purpose bag of things, cleaning items, gloves, clothespins, anything like that. And it's on top of our toolbox, which is very necessary. We have just about every kind of tool that we could ever need because we're kind of constantly fixing things and expecting things to break, and we have every intention of continuing to build this RV as we go along and as we figure out kind of what we need. So over here we have our pantry basically. So we have our coffee grinder, we have a basket for our silverware, spoons, bowls, coffee pots, things like that, and then next to it is basically our food pantry. So we have all of our dried goods like noodles, tea, potatoes, just anything that's not really going to spoil. And then above this, on this side, we have curtains that go all the way across, and they're not quite blackout curtains, which is unfortunate. We're going to need to get those at some point so that we can be super stealth when we're parking. But for right now, they work pretty well. I actually made these curtains in college and kept them for what now about 11 years, and they happen to fit absolutely perfectly in this RV, so that's really fun. All right, so over here, kind of transition into our bedside table, where we have a little box that my really good friend from college, Mariana, her mother paints these kinds of designs on things, so we kept that as kind of a sentimental item in the truck. Below here is also where we have our power source. So we have this box down here which connects to a battery on the outside of the vehicle, and that's what?
It's an inverter.
It's an inverter, says Nick. It's an inverter. And so that connects up to a power strip that's kind of behind this water heater here, and then we can plug in, you know, 5 or 6 different items at a time. And the battery actually lasts, we're not using that much electricity, so the battery actually lasts a pretty long time. We actually have lights in this thing too that are hooked up directly to the battery on the outside. So this button right here turns on our lights, which you can't see right now because it's so bright and beautiful outside. All right, so this is our bed. It's right above the cab. It is almost a queen size bed, so it's actually pretty big. It's bigger than the one that we had in Baltimore, so we actually kind of feel like we're living in luxury a little bit. This bed is above the cab, which is down here. So behind this black cloth, which is always covered in dog hair, is where we drive. And we keep this blanket up basically to keep some of the heat that comes into the cab out. All right, so this bed is pretty awesome. We have a 3-inch memory foam mattress on it, so we sleep very, very comfortably. Underneath, we keep our camping sleeping pads too, just as a means of storage, but also just a little bit of extra padding. And the blanket on top is actually sentimental to us too. It's a blanket that Nick's grandmother out in Minnesota, shout out to Betty, right? Betty. Shout out to Betty on that one. She made for Nick and sent it home with him on one of the trips out there. And then one of my really good friends in DC gave us this pillow as a parting gift, which we really love because it says home is where you park it, and that really could not be more true for what we're doing right now. All right, so I'm gonna spin around here. More curtains, they're just hung up on the hooks, same way. And down here is our desk table area. We have just a folding table down here, and it can go up and down depending on what we need. So it's super versatile. Everything in here is really, really versatile. We make use of pretty much every bit of space that we possibly can. Below that is where we keep our clothes. So this is more or less our closet down here, and we just have 2 bins, one for each of us, to kind of help keep everything really consolidated and help us really make some choices about what we actually wanted to bring. We just have 1 chair, which seems to work pretty well because we have almost an entire living room in the back over here. There's Nick. Say hi to Nick. There's Wilson sitting up there. That's a wicker patio chair that I've had in basically every single place that I've lived over the last 10 years, which has been like 15 different places. Before that, my mom had it at her house, so this thing's been around a while, and she actually got it from one of our neighbors growing up. So I've been sitting in this chair probably for 20 years. Wilson's also been sitting in this chair his entire life, so that's his spot, and he loves it. He kind of goes back and forth between the floor and the chair depending on what he feels like doing. We set out blankets for him at night so that he kind of has a little doggy bed. As you can see, we have plants everywhere. We have a big box of plants over here. We've got plants on the ground over here. Nick, what have you got over there? What plants do you have?
Oh,
he's got his fern. He loves his fern. His elven ear and his fern. And then what's up here next to you?
Fly trap. What is it called?
Pitcher plant.
Yeah, pitcher.
That's what it's called. Pitcher plant. Yeah. Yeah. So we brought all the plants. We have some succulents over here, and we basically just keep them in the box. And then when we're going to be somewhere for a day or maybe 2, we just bring them out. Try to give them some sun as much as possible. When we get down to Florida, I'm sure they're going to be absolutely loving life. Loving it. So behind Nick is a shower curtain. A little weird to keep on the inside, but it's also super useful because it makes it covers up the black wall that's over there, and also when we have the bed, when we have that part of the truck down, because that can fold all the way down and just be a completely open back, we can get some privacy without having to give up the fresh air. Over here we have basically kind of our bathroom area. We have our towels, all of our hygiene products and everything. We bought a membership to Planet Fitness, so that's where we've been showering for $20 a month. Both of us, not $20 each, but $20 total. Both of us can use any facility that we want to, and they're all over the place, so that's been a really awesome thing. Underneath that bench is where we keep all of our camping stuff, like camping chairs and everything, so we have easy access to it because we've been using those a lot too. All of our shoes are right next to the bench, and I think the only thing we haven't showed you yet is the water system. Nick, do you want to show them the water system?
Yep.
All right.
It's just this keg here.
Just a keg. You can tell that we used to work for a brewery.
Right.
Had to bring a keg along.
Yeah. Check out the pump too.
Yep, coming over.
And here's just a hand pump right here. I mounted it to the table. Just a couple pumps. Puts pressure in the keg.
We really need to get a cap for that.
For the top. Yeah. And then you have this hose, party tap.
Nice.
Fill up water.
Yes, always good to stay hydrated.
Water the plants. Do whatever you need.
Yep, more pantry space over here. My mom got these racks for free. We finally found a use for them. I think I've had them for about 3 years and never found a use for them, and now they're perfect. But yeah, we use this water system. It's about 5 gallons. It lasts us, if we're just using that and not like refilling constantly, it lasts us probably 3 days or so. Yeah, for cleaning, washing your face, brushing teeth, etc., etc., etc. All right, so do a full 360 here. So here's the back. There's Nick. There's Wilson going all the way around. And that's again the kitchen, all the storage, bed, and the desk. Oh yeah, there's a spare tire. And a few little hooks here just for stuff that we need for going outside. We got some free hats from Napa. And there's the door. Cool.
Repping Napa.
Repping Napa. Hope you guys enjoyed it. No, repping free. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll be able to post some more videos soon.